The war in Israel is impacting the GOP race to elect a new Speaker of the House. Wednesday, House Republicans nominated Steve Scalise to be the next House Speaker. Scalise beat out Jim Jordan of Ohio by a vote of 113 to 99. A floor vote of the entire House had been expected, in which Scalise would have needed 217 out of 433 votes to officially become the new Speaker, but the night ended and the House adjourned. The timeline now for a new Speaker is uncertain. We do know that the House GOP will be meeting at noon Eastern today at the Capitol to huddle on the speakership role. Joining us now to talk more about it, Republican strategist and former chief of staff for U.S. Senator is Boyd Matheson. Boyd, thank you. They have to understand the urgency of this right now.
Yeah, I think the pressure is beginning to mount. All of those that I've been communicating with inside of many of those meetings and rooms are saying that the frustration level is mounting. The pressure is clearly mounting as well. They know they need to get this done swiftly, and yet there are some that are just not going to allow it to move swiftly. You still have about 6 or so of the Republicans who are going to either vote for Jim Jordan or even for Kevin McCarthy. You've got a number that aren't committing at this point. And really, Steve Scalise can only afford to lose 4 votes. That's all he can lose to get to that 217. Normally it's 218, but with some absences and vacancies, 217 is the number. And it doesn't appear that there's a real natural path there. It will be fascinating to watch what happens behind closed doors at this meeting that you mentioned, Marni, at noon, whether that just escalates into more Republican against Republican kind of food fight, or whether it can actually say this is the time we need to come together, coalesce, and lead, because there are things that simply need to be done for the good of the country. And that's really the question that each of those in the room should be asking. We've gone through our process. Mr. Scalise was able to garner more votes than Mr. Jordan. And so that's that part of the equation. Can you get to the 217? That's the big question. Otherwise, we continue to have this round by round kind of thing. I don't think anyone wants to go to the floor until they at least have a good sense that they could do this in a couple of rounds. You may have some who say, well, I'll vote for Jim Jordan in the first round, but then I'll move on over maybe just for a show of support or someone just being loyal to the cause there. So those will be a lot of the real nuanced pieces to watch, but everyone has to be wringing their hands just a little bit to say, let's get this done. Let's get on to the business of the people.
Right. And from the outside looking in, no one is interested in infighting anymore, given the circumstances that the world is facing right now in Israel. The pro tem speaker right now, the interim speaker, do they have any power when it comes to aid to Israel?
No, there really isn't a real stretch mark there, Marni, because that is so limited. The Speaker pro tem just does not have the ability to move massive pieces of legislation through or approve and begin the process, especially when it comes to funding things, if it's aid to Israel or Ukraine or anyone else. And so it's a real tough spot that they're in, because they can't advance the big things that the rest of the world and the rest of the country are really focused on. And so sadly, this is one more indication that we get so myopic in Washington, D.C., that they think the little battle over who's going to hold the gavel is everything. And it simply isn't. And so it is time for the adults in the room to say, okay, it's time to be adults. We all were elected to come here to do the work of the people and to represent them and to represent the country, what's best for the country. And this is not what is best for the country looks like or sounds like. This sounds much more like a 6th grade or a maybe junior high at best effort. And we just have to expect more out of what's coming out of Washington.
Right. And to add to that, the optics don't look good for terrorist groups like Hamas when those within the United States government are continually arguing. They're looking for opportunities to carry out the violence that they have. Thank you, Boyd, as always. Appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.